Folks, this is Dave with Wyoming Old Iron. I want to welcome you back. Today it's time to pay the bills and not do old iron. So this is a furnace I'm going to be installing in the near future. Homeowner's not home right now for me to take it over to him. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the propane conversion on it here. Now we won't be able to do any pressure testing or things like that, but we can do the basics, and then when we hook it up at his house we can finish it. This is an Evcon by Coleman furnace, 100,000 BTU. As all of them, it comes set for natural gas and you have to convert it to propane. So the first thing we're going to do is, this is a pressure tap. You'll notice the hole right here at my thumb. Okay, this is for the pressure switch to be installed in. So first thing we do, we put on some pipe dope here. I say this every time, but I know a lot of people use Teflon tape. I hate Teflon tape. And you screw that in to the inlet side of the gas valve. Now that tap has to be turned to the 3 o'clock position, like so. It's right there. And then you install this pressure switch. Again, we're going to pipe dope it. Screw it in, and I might, yeah, it's going to be a 3/8 wrench. So I'll have to go grab that. I don't have, well, wait a minute. I've got an adjustable wrench right here. This should work. Oh, I thought there was a hex on that. There's not. So I'm going to have to probably go grab we might be able to get that in there. Yeah, I'm going to have to get a smaller pair of pliers. See if we can get the last turn on it here. I don't have enough strength in my hands anymore. So then the next thing we need to do is we need to change out the orifices. These are the brass jets that are right here, and there are 5 of them. Now, most furnaces come with their own set of instructions. The goal here is just to show you the basics. Let's see here. I always have to stop and think when I'm working backwards. There we go. order to keep from breaking things here, take this thermal fuse loose. These are rollout, basically these are rollout flame sensors. And if the flame for some reason backs up, the flue pipe doesn't work, it plugs up, then they will pop and prevent the unit from firing. These are 7/16ths. As far as the wrench size I'm using here. There we go, finally. I'm hoping this will show up on camera. A lot of time these kits will come with more orifices than you need. And I'm hoping this shows up. But there's the natural gas hole that I just took out. And there is the LP hole that I'm about to put in, the propane. You can always tell a natural gas orifice from a propane orifice. Natural gas operates at a lower pressure with a larger hole, and propane operates at a higher pressure with a smaller hole. It's measured in something called inches of water column, and you need a tool called a manometer to measure it. But that's your basic gist. Now I have to change the other 4 orifices here, and I'll get that done, and then I got to go find a small pair of water pump pliers or a very, very small pipe wrench, and I got to give that another twist so it's good and tight. But let's go ahead and get these done. Again, follow your own instructions. This is simply meant as a guide to show you the basics of doing a propane conversion. And I didn't want to video it over where I'm going to be doing it because the room is very, very crowded and very, very dark. By all means, you can use a ratcheting wrench here or a socket. I just happen to grab a 7/16 wrench. Okay, I'm going to go grab a small pair of pliers. I'll change out these other 3 orifices, and then I'll bring you back for the reassembly and then the last part of this conversion we're going to do today. Okay, folks, you notice it's still apart. I've changed all 5 orifices. I've turned the pressure switch to its proper position, but there's also another thing in the instructions. It says I'm supposed to remove some screens in here. I must confess that I have never seen this on a new furnace, but you know, things change all the time. want us to pull this, and there's supposed to be some screens. Now, if you're ever going to pull one of these, this little guy over here is an igniter. They give new meaning to the word fragile. Okay, this, I apologize. This is not a silicon carbide igniter, this is a nitride igniter, and they're actually pretty stout. Anyway, these screens, they want them removed when you convert it to propane. So they're out of there. We're going to put the burner box back in. First one's always the hardest. It'd be helpful if that bit was magnetic, but it's not. I know you probably can't see it with the camera at that angle, but of course this particular screw is trying to enter the hole a little bit cockeyed, and of course then when it does that, it comes off of the bit and it won't drive it. Okay. We're going to put that one in last when everything else is up out of the way. Okay, so now I'm going to bring this manifold assembly up. Make sure all your orifices enter your burners. Now this is still going to need to be leak checked and operational checked, of course, when I install it. But this is just the basics of getting everything switched over. Okay, we got 2 of these rollout switches. Put wiring back together here, or most of it. There's a little bit of wiring we have to do here too. Okay, this is your draft inducer fan. It's wired up. In case you're wondering, because I can't often bring the camera into customers' homes, this here is a vacuum switch. If this switch doesn't sense a good vacuum through this hose, then it will not let the furnace light. So if you ever have one that won't light up, or it lights up just for a second and goes back out, make sure this hose isn't plugged up, usually right here at the fan body. Just a little food for thought. So your orifices are replaced. Okay, last but not least, we have the gas valve spring, but we'll have to do that after I deal with the day job. Okay, I'm back. Last thing we're going to do here, this is your regulator cap screw on your gas valve, and this may have to be adjusted on site. You take the adjustment screw out, there's a different spring in there. And you grab this spring and take it out. The one thing that I've found with these plastic nuts over there is make sure they're started square. You don't cross thread them. That's going to be close. It doesn't specify, it just tells you to go directly off of the pressure, which we'll check when we get there. I don't know, can you see? Let's see here. I have help. My office dog. Ethel, I don't need your assistance, honey. I really don't. I know you think I do, but I don't. Ethel loves hanging out in the office. No, no. She also thinks she's a lap dog. And even though she's small for a boxer, she's still not a lap dog. Okay, so the last thing we have to do here, besides keep Ethel out of my lap, is, let's see here, is they want to wire, for some reason, they now want to wire the flame sensor, which is this piece back here, through this pressure switch. Not sure why, but they do. So what we do here is the wire that originally went to the flame sensor take it off. And voila, done. Now they will tell you to save all the pieces and give them to the owner in case they ever get natural gas. Okay, the nearest natural gas line to me is 55 miles as the road goes and about 40 miles as the crow flies. The chances of us getting natural gas in this area of Wyoming are right up there with me voting for Joe Biden. So they're never going to get natural gas. So we're going to throw these parts in here. I'll ask the new owner of the furnace if he wants them. Now most of these propane kits will come with one of these labels where you sign it and date it. And you put everybody around here knows if you have gas, it's propane. So we'll put the propane sticker down there. The reason I'm putting it down there is there's a part number here I don't want to cover up. And I'll deal with this label later. Anybody with half a brain can put a label on. So, thank you for watching. Hope you learned something. If you like what you're seeing, please like and subscribe. And we'll be back with the next video shortly.